here at Lambeau Field. 1265 Lombardi Avenue, Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's the street address. We had just under 2 inches of snow overnight into the morning and a good spell of snow a short time ago. Just light snow showers for the next hour. It's 33. It feels like about 30 degrees, and the Falcons players were telling me before the game, it feels like summer compared to when they played here a year ago and the wind chill was below zero. But of course it's December, it's Packer weather. Green Bay's going to get the ball first. You'll see the Falcons defense on the field as Green Bay won the toss and will receive. "308 straight sellouts." 58th season of football here. Settle in for another night of football from Lambeau Field. Off we go. Kickoff by Matt Bosher. DeWan Harris from 6 deep will bring it out for the Packers. And Harris knocked down at the 18-yard line. Devontae Freeman, the running back, makes the tackle for Atlanta. Aaron Rodgers, incredible numbers this year. On his way to the MVP if he can close out the final quarter of the season. But as you see, great at home thus far.
And they are a great first quarter offense. 127 points in the first quarter. Look for Rodgers to spread Atlanta out. A lot of open formation. See if he can read the disguises from this Falcons secondary.
Roger.
Opening drive starts with the 19. And here's Rodgers' first pass. John Kuhn out of the backfield. There you go, Kuhn every time he touches the ball. A gain of 5. Blocking up front. This group has been together 11 straight games. Their health has been the difference in their success this season. Lindsley, the rookie, has been sharp at the center. Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, the rookie Devontae Adams coming off a big game with 120 yards, 12 yards against the Patriots last week. 2nd and 4, and an Eddie Lacy run to the left. First down and more. Lacy to the 47-yard line. Big gain of 22.
Run left. Lock the area at left tackle, sitting at left guard, but it's the feet of Eddie Lacy. Stop and start quickness. Nice cut back running. Outstanding second year back.
Roger. Hey,
And silence. Rodgers was just surveying what the Falcons had out there. He adjusts the play to this left run again for Lacy. Another 12 yards and a first down.
Atlanta's going to have a hard time if they play split safety defenses. They're going to be light in the box, and Rodgers is going to audible to runs all night long. You take 2 safeties out of the box, Rodgers is going to have time to check to these runs. And this Green Bay Packer offensive line is the most improved part of this year's football team.
Terrific start for Lacy. At 98 against the Patriots last week. From the 41, Rodgers drifts back all kinds of time, and here's Lacy. On the check down, he gains 6 to the 35. Dwight Lowry with the tackle, so on their heels already. These guys are good at the most yards in the league. Minimal pass rush. Nobody has more than 2.5 sacks. Undrafted second-year players at the linebacker, Warlow and Bartu, play a lot of 5 DBs. William Moore coming back last week after missing half the season with a shoulder injury. Inspirational, motivational, and big plays. Pressure comes, it's picked up, and Rodgers complete to Jordy Nelson at the 25-yard line. So, John, they try to bring some pressure, and then there's an answer for that.
Eddie Lacy shows his versatility. It's a free safety blitz off the left side. And watch Eddie Lacy pick it up routinely, allows Aaron Rodgers to set his feet, find Jordy Nelson on that vintage hook route on the outside. He beats McClain easily. Green Bay loves this pattern against any coverage.
319.
James Starks is now in at the back. With ball handling as Rodgers disguises. Throws on the run complete. Nelson at the 5. First and goal, Green Bay at the 3.
Body language. Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers work so well together with this nonverbal communication. It's an over route by Jordy Nelson. He has the presence to sit in the open zone, and Rodgers finds him easily.
Clinical on this opening drive. First and goal from the 3. Fans calling for Kuhn to get it. He'll lead the way for Starks. To the outside in the end zone. Packer opening drive, touchdown.
They exposed Atlanta on that drive. Falcons, no pass rush, inexperience at linebackers, injuries in the secondary. It'll be a long night for Atlanta if they don't make some adjustments quickly. Just a simple handoff off the right side. Starks bounces it, missed tackles. A lot of contributors in that opening possession.
For James Starks, fifth-year man out of Buffalo, his second rushing touchdown of the year, and Mason Crosby adds one more. That is the way you draw an opening drive. 7-0 Green Bay, less than 4 minutes in. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, now through January 5th. Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. ESPNFanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. And Navy Federal, serving the armed forces and their families. Neighborhoods close by with great scenes. There are tailgating here at Lambeau as everyone piled in, starting at 7 this morning and building through the afternoon. And watch the Packers get off to a good start, as has been the case of late. 11 straight games with the first quarter touchdown, second to that very potent 83 Redskins offense, who did it 12 games in a row. Mason Crosby kicks it, and Devin Hester back. They try to kick away from Hester, and Eric Weems, as the short man, will pick it up, and he'll be tackled at the 27-yard line. So Aaron Rodgers is so good in the first quarter. So too is Matt Ryan. He's going to need to be to match scores with the Packers here tonight. Well, if Matt Ryan and the Falcons offense were watching what you saw, they know can't let possessions get away tonight. Got to try to match the Packers. Steven Jackson got off to a good start against Arizona last week. A 10-yard run right there. Very close to a first down. All those years in St. Louis, 9 of them, John. Since he's come to Atlanta, hasn't had that dynamic game, but did get over 100 last week.
Well, their offensive line was decimated last year. Finally, they're getting a little continuity up front. Give Steven Jackson some blocking, and he'll do the rest.
First down on that carry, and here's another one. He spins and he's turned with a gain of 3 yards. John Matt Ryan, tremendous at the Georgia Dome, just under 500 at home, but works a no-huddle offense, home or road.
He's made more plays with his feet this year, Mike. His deep ball accuracy is better with the return of a healthy Julio Jones. Gonna have to win a shootout tonight, though.
Trying to communicate in the noise. Safety comes down for pressure. Jackson cuts it back. It all means a gain of a yard.
This running game important for Atlanta. They must possess the ball. Keep it away from Aaron Rodgers and this Packer offense. And Steven Jackson, who missed part of this season with a hamstring, looks healthy.
Jacquizz Rodgers, now the running back, 3rd and 4. All right, as time over the middle is hung on to by Roddy White, who returns after missing the last game with a left ankle sprain. First down, Falcons.
How about that throw and catch? Pocket collapsing on Matt Ryan. He throws with great anticipation. Tight window throw. Morgan Burnett in tight coverage.
say 52's the mic. That's Clay Matthews, who's been jumping outside and inside for the last 4 games. He's inside the last couple of snaps. Ryan's got time. And he's got Julio Jones downfield at the 25-yard line with a response here from the Falcons.
Very good pass protection, and if you give Matt Ryan time and one-on-one coverage for Julio Jones, it'll be a long night for Sam Shields. Julio Jones took it to Patrick Peterson last week. 10 catches, 189 yards. He's feeling it.
First down from the 25. Ryan looked Jones' way, threw it. Did it go forward? Was it ruled an incomplete pass, or is that a backwards pass? It's ruled incomplete now as one of the officials comes in. Julius Peppers wrapped around Ryan. Now a conversation.
Ruling on the field will be incomplete pass. Second down.
So it goes back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's a receiver, Jaquiz Rogers, standing right out there. I think it's a pretty good call by the official.
Yeah, the concern was if it was a backwards pass, it would be the loss of yardage and out of bounds where it went out. But that looked to be the correct call by Pete Morelli, the referee, and his line judge. Ran out of time on the play clock, and it's delay of game.
Remain second down.
Hard to explain a delay of game in a no-huddle offense, but Matt Ryan's doing it all. He's using dummy snap counts. He's trying to read the front, the coverage, and get Atlanta in the perfect play. Hard to do with these disguises.
That's Dirk Cutter. He's the offensive coordinator. This group only been together 5 games, 2 rookies communicating in this noise. You've heard from these folks already. Getting White back so important. Devin Hester will mix in at the receiver spot as the night goes on. Second and 15. This pass is caught by Jones. Julio fights for the extra couple. He gains 7, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
Julio Jones, you have to be very careful with a great receiver when he gets hot. Last week, he was called out by Patrick Peterson, and Julio Jones got mad. 10 catches, 189 yards, and he ignited the Atlanta Falcon offense to a huge win over Arizona. Green Bay's got to be real careful with Julio Jones. He lines up everywhere in this offense. There he is in the slot at the top of the screen.
Officially 3rd and 7. Packers bring 5. Ryan throws. It's Jones at the 10. Julio's got 1st and goal at the 4. And you talked to all the Falcons, and he looked possessed last week. He's carrying it over this week.
Well, it's one-on-one coverage. It's a blitz. It's Micah Hyde and Julio Jones. And Jones, with that huge frame and that combination of size and athleticism, wins.
Jackson is the back on 1st and goal, and Jackson picks his way to the end zone. Tremendous response by the Falcons. A point away from a tie game.
You are kidding. Balance. They did it on the ground and through the air and right off the left side. Blaylock at left guard. Matthews at left tackle, and Steven Jackson does it as well as any back in football in December, Mike. He gets stronger normally as the season goes on.
Matt Bryant with Matt Bosher holding. Bangs through the extra point. Nice response. 9 plays, 72 yards for the 68th time in his 11-year NFL career. Rushing touchdown, Steven Jackson. All tied at 7. Aaron Rodgers. This is the battle of wits going on tonight. Mike Nolan up in the top right of your picture, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, was the 49ers head coach. In 2005, he hired Mike McCarthy as his offensive coordinator for 1 year. Then McCarthy got hired here. So these two guys who used to collaborate are now going against each other, play callers. And Rodgers finds himself, John, facing Nolan for the 2nd time. And that's unique because Mike Nolan will bring you things that you don't see every week. So that's going to be part of the chess match that we'll watch evolve as the night goes on.
Most defenses have matchup problems that they present. Great pass rushers, great corners. They don't have that in Atlanta, but they do create scheme problems. Look for Mike Nolan to rev up some exotic blitzes. That might be the Falcons' only chance on defense.
We saw how easily the Packers move the ball down the field in the opening drive. Bosher to kick it off. DeJuan Harris again back deep to receive. It'll be a touchback, one of the big plays in that drive. John, break it down with our total replay.
Love watching Jordy Nelson at the bottom of the screen work with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to run an over route. Will Moore is going to jump it. Should be a dead play. But Nelson sees and reacts to what is in front of him. He has confidence that Aaron Rodgers will read his body language. But look at the ball handling, the pass protection, the throw. Hard to stop two great pros that have been together a long time.
All those different small elements, and the play was drawn up to be one thing. It was taken away. Those two guys and their efforts together put them inside the 5 and allowed for the touchdown run by Starks. Rodgers pressured here. Troy Bierman's going to get it for a rare Falcon sack. Bierman has the team lead in sacks now with 3.5.
Well, that's what you have to do, confuse Aaron Rodgers. They went to a 2-deep scheme. Aaron Rodgers didn't like what he saw. He tried to pull the ball down, and Bierman beat Bakhtiari for the sack. Bierman is a versatile Atlanta Falcon who lines up all over the place.
Every game we've had with him, he always seems to make plays. You'll even see him play a deep safety at times in some of those bizarre defensive looks we were talking about. Lacey is going to be stopped. He'll be pulled down by Paul Warloo, and now the defense for Atlanta showing up over the last couple of plays. Mike McCarthy has developed his good back in Eddie Lacy, the second-year man out of Alabama. That time stopped by Warlow, and it brings up a 3rd and long for Green Bay. Well, the hard count of Rodgers forced Bierman to move. They're saying this is on Balaga.
False start.
Wow.
Number 81 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is notorious for the hard count. He's caused 59 defensive pre-snap penalties. Take a look at Corliss, number 81, on this hard count. It's a good call.
Yep. I was watching when Bierman moved. Balaga, he reacted as soon as you see a guy like Bierman jump in the neutral zone to get that called on him. But the Corliss move started it all and pushed him back 5.
Must be alert for the screen passes in these situations. 3rd and long.
All changes week to week. Empty backfield, 3rd and 17. Against the twisting 4-man rush. Rodgers down the middle. Corliss, the tight end. He made up for the penalty. 1st down for Green Bay.
You got to credit the offensive line. Rodgers knew it was a 2-deep zone defense. There's going to be a stunt off the left side, and Corliss runs right down the field, and there's nobody home. Pass protection. Top notch. And what a throw.
30-yard gain. Rodgers now 6 for 6 as he hits Nelson for a 1st down.
When you get Aaron Rodgers behind in a down and distance, 3rd and 16, you must get off the field. But Mike Nolan has had no pass rush whatsoever without blitzing. And when you blitz Aaron Rodgers, he can hurt you real bad. Atlanta must muster a rush.
Hey, Cobra Fred too. Cobra Fred. Hey. Cobra Fred too.
Joy to watch these quarterbacks both in complete control of everything going on. It's a Lacey run to the left. And he'll be stopped right around the 43-yard line. Gain of 4 yards. Aaron Rodgers in the 1st quarter this year. Great completion percentage, no picks, getting his team off to a great start. Much like Matt Ryan, exceptional in that passer rating stat. And again, just for perspective, if it's anything that would be on the old FM dial between 88 and 108, it's good. When you get above that, it's really good. And these guys have been to open the games. Lacey, been a busy 1st quarter for Eddie. His 5th carry. Picks up another 1st down at the 32.
A lot of diversity in this running game as well. They're running power plays out of a single back set. They have a double team off the left side. Atlanta Falcons have it smelled out, but Eddie Lacy once again shows his athleticism for a big back. That's impressive. Aaron Rodgers is like a conductor in this system.
Play action, Rodgers surveys all kinds of time. Gets Quarles underneath for the first down and a gain of 12 yards.
If you give Aaron Rodgers this kind of pass protection, nobody's going to beat Green Bay. He reverses out of this play action pass. He hitches about 4 times. The Green Bay Packer offensive line, best kept secret in Wisconsin.
William Moore, the safety, limped off on that prior play. Kamal Ishmael, who played a lot when Moore was out, is back in there now. In the red zone, Rodgers snaps it to Quarles. He gains almost 9 yards on his 3rd reception of this opening quarter.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Rodgers is picking a side based on the coverage rotation, and he has Atlanta on the ropes, completely solved.
Hasn't missed yet. 9 for 9. This one won't gain yardage as Jordy Nelson is knocked down by Desmond Trufant. Lisa, an update on that Atlanta secondary.
Well, Mike, William Moore is over here on the bench, and right now they are taking the tape off of his right foot. It looks like that's where the issue is. They're just got the trainers around him right now. When I have more, I'll let you know.
Okay, Lisa, his shoulder injury had him on injured reserve with a chance to return. That's why he missed 7 games, 8 weeks. 2nd week back. 3rd and 2.
16.
Falcons show pressure.
319.
Here they come. Rodgers picks it apart. Caught for the first down by Randall Cobb. Trufant just a second late. And it's 1st and goal, Green Bay.
Quick release. Randall Cobb on an under route. Ball's thrown accurately, but a great job by Cobb catching it and protecting it on impact. He's the go-to man in the red zone. Randall Cobb.
Rodgers 10 for 10 to open the game. On 1st and goal. And as he throws to the end zone, broken up at the last second by Ishmael.
Ishmael has done a lot of good things. The 2nd-year player out of Central Florida has 4 interceptions.
Rodgers got hit hard on that play, John, as the pressure was coming. He's wincing after taking the shot.
Falcons come with a blitz. And Paul Warlow hits him hard.
And then he bounces into his tackle, Balaga.
Quick Jerry, 5-5.
2nd and goal.
319.
Rodgers looked to Nelson. Keeping it alive, about to get hit. Scrambles out of there. On the run. Rodgers lost the football on the way down. Got it back at the 2-yard line. And flags come in as well. And the Packers take exception that Rodgers was taken down.
They're still wrestling for that ball. Looks like a Falcon came up with it.
Heard the officials say green ball as Josh Wilson was down there with Rodgers. Dwight Lowry comes in, pulls it away from Rodgers. Still, the conversation goes on, and the entire officiating staff in there to try to keep the team separate.
That ball is clearly out, and it looks like a clear recovery by the Falcons.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 99. Late hit. After this will go automatic. First down.
I see the late hit there that is being called as Tyson Jackson came into the pile and just put the forearm into the back of Rodgers. not trying to go recover the football at all. That's why that was called. And hear your point there that you saw the fumble, the ball come out, and we heard the officials say green ball. The Falcons did have their hands on it.
Number 65 and number 73 have reported as eligible receivers. Both are eligible.
But it will stay with Green Bay. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1. And the Packers will let the quarter end. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. The Packers try to make it 3 for 3 when the second begins. Second quarter here at Lambeau Field. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters, our Monday night team. Each team had 1 full possession in the quarter for a touchdown. This is a 12-play Packer drive. And John, when Rodgers rolled out on that 3rd and goal, there was the penalty by Tyson Jackson for that forearm in the back, not going to dive on the loose ball, so it was an automatic 1st down. That's why it's 1st and goal for Green Bay here at the 1 to start the second quarter.
And Green Bay has loaded it up with big bodies. Look for Eddie Lacy behind John Kuhn in the I formation.
You heard from the end of the opening quarter, 2 linemen check-in is eligible. Lacy to the left is in. Eddie Lacy for the touchdown and the lead.
Left tackle David Bakhtiari is still blocking an Atlanta Falcon. Left tackle, 2nd-year man out of Colorado, engages on the edge and does a beautiful job picking out the corner for Eddie Lacy, who walks in for 6.
Lacy did a lot of work on that first drive, and James Starks got the touchdown. This one Lacy's. The point by Mason Crosby. 13 plays and 80 yards. They've had it twice. They've scored twice. The Lacy leap after Green Bay goes up 7. The finalists have been announced. The 80th Heisman Trophy presentation Saturday night from New York. You'll see it on ESPN. Of course, watch ESPN, college football's highest honor. You got Melvin Gordon, the Badger, will be there. Marcus Mariota, the heavy favorite. And Amari Cooper, Alabama wide receiver. He's followed the talents of Julio Jones as a great Alabama wide receiver as well. Speaking of talents, no one has returned kicks like Devin Hester. 20 in his career, going to get his hands on one here from 3 deep. Hester loves to cut it up. He does there, and just about a step away from taking it a long way to the 28-yard line. John, 2 great quarterbacks who are CEOs in charge of it all.
$100 million quarterbacks. They'll change the splits and signal different routes. Look at Aaron Rodgers' eyes. I mean, he is in complete control, and these head coaches trust their quarterbacks with their football. Fun to watch. 2 great quarterbacks going after each other in December.
Early entry into the neutral zone. A flag is down as Devontae Freeman's brought down at the 33-yard line.
Green Bay's offsides.
Offside. Number 58, defense, 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers both use these snap counts in these no-huddle offenses. You would think in a no-huddle offense you're using the same snap count, but you'll see dummy snap counts, quick counts, hard counts. A big part of this Falcon no-huddle offense, their ability to change the snap count.
So it's 1st and 5, and Steven Jackson comes in. He'll run for about 2 yards. Barrington, who was flagged for the offside, 2nd-year player out of South Florida, made the tackle.
This center, James Stone, is an interesting story. Undrafted out of Tennessee, the 3rd different center. He snaps the ball right-handed when Ryan's underneath the center, and in the shotgun, he'll snap it left-handed.
Clay Matthews chasing from his inside linebacker position. Joins Julius Peppers for the stop. Gain of less than a yard.
Clay Matthews What a transition he's made. Playing off the ball as a linebacker. He stems on and blitzes, and he still knows how to run plays down. Relentless motor.
This is the 5th game. He's playing about 15 to 20 snaps inside. Long passing third down situations. He'll come down and rush from that outside linebacker spot where he's made his name in his Pro Bowls. Clock running down. Ryan needs it. He's got it. Nearly intercepted, but a flag down as Roddy White was the intended receiver. Tramon Williams back there in coverage.
Ryan went down.
Going against Mike Smith's team on the Falcons.
Watch Roddy White on a swing route to the outside.
Pass
Morgan Burnett.
interference. Number 80, offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
That was a pick play. Levine Toilolo just turned around and never really looked like an active receiver. And once he tied up Williams trying to get around the pick, the flag was thrown, so they'll decline it. And the Falcons will punt it away with Matt Bosher. And Micah Hyde back deep to receive. Hyde took one back against Philadelphia earlier this year for a touchdown. Good high hanging kick. 51 yards. Hyde from his own 11. They return it 4. Brought down 15. That's the long snapper, Josh Harris, who ran down there. After 5 seconds of hang time and made the tackle. Rodgers up 7. It was the 2nd time in Aaron Rodgers' career that he opened a game 10 of 10. Missed his last pass. There you see his numbers so far. Matt Ryan good on that opening drive, but the Falcons walked down the field to score, but a 3-and-out that time. So after the first punt of the game, it's Green Bay leading by 7, taking over at their own 16-yard line. The back James Starks, who scored earlier. Great cutback. Gaping hole. Starks with a big run of 21 and a first down.
Atlanta continues to back off in coverage, and Rodgers, he sees the deep safeties, a light box. He continues to hand the ball off with these run audibles, and you can't block better than that. Dominated.
Green 18.
37. Starks goes to the left. And he'll gain a little more than 3 yards. John, this is a Falcon defense that has struggled mightily. They've given up more yards than any team this year, 403 a game. This was the goal this year, to become a more physical team and build with defensive linemen and have a solid run game on the offensive side. But the defensive line hasn't answered the call this year.
Spent $25 million on defensive tackles, and I haven't seen the improvement tonight.
At safety, William Moore, hurt on the last drive, has not returned, a foot injury. His return questionable. 2nd and 6, little play action toss. Starks got it all this drive. It's a Falcon territory with the first down.
How nice is it to run a play action pass? You want to throw the ball to one of these 2 receivers down here. Nobody's open. You have all day to reset your feet, find your check down, and Starks breaks through for another first down. Everybody is a part of this pass offense, Mike.
Starks is at a run of 21, a run of 4, and they're a reception of 12 to start this drive. Look at the time he has to get somebody free. Now Rodgers will take off and go down at the 41-yard line. It'll be a run of 6.
This is like backyard football where you got to count 5 Mississippis before you can rush. Atlanta has to find some pass rushers in next year's draft. It's been the Achilles heel of this Falcon football team.
Only 15, including the one that Bierman had in the first quarter. Starts to the right on that quick pitch. Very close to the first down. T.J. Lang, the left guard out of Eastern Michigan, got out there with a little block.
And his center, Corey Lindsley, took over right before the opener of the regular season. 5th round pick out of Ohio State, overlooked by many. And talking to Mike McCarthy and these Green Bay Packer linemen, he has been a huge surprise. 500-pound bench press, 4.97. He's athletic, and he is mean.
3rd and 1, Kuhn will take it, and John Kuhn will gain the first down to the 34-yard line. They absolutely love this player who's been here now for 9 years.
Watch this center, Lindsley, snapped it with his right arm, drive block with help from his other Packer teammates. And you're right, John Kuhn, fan favorite.
Remember how bad the injury bug caught this team a few years ago, and he went back and was their only back. He played in one-back sets. So versatile, so valuable, and so liked by the Packer fans.
All right. 319.
Clinic thus far for the Packers and Rodgers. First down, he's got 8 seconds to find somebody. And Devontae Adams couldn't stay up. And the passing complete.
I don't know how he missed that. Look at this pass protection. You and I can go out here and complete a couple. We'll put a shot clock on how long he can hold it. There's nobody around him. 3.6 seconds. Reverse fake. Look down the field. Hit 4 times. 4.5 seconds. And then on this play, he ends up scrambling, but he has almost 6.5 seconds before he takes off.
We know the Falcons struggle with putting pressure on the quarterback, but this is common for Packer games. The kind of time he gets. Contacted and just steps up, flicks it to Lacy. Lacy made 3. Falcons go down like bowling pins. And he's still going. What a play by Lacy. First down.
Lacy has made a huge effort to improve as a pass receiver. Screens, checkdowns, and yards after the catch. He averages over 11 yards a catch, but Rodgers has the presence to find Eddie Lacy, who does the rest. How about that spin move for a 244-pound back?
And unfortunately for the Falcons, Paul Soliai, one of those free agents they added this year, defensive tackles, he got hit by one of his players, and Soliai is the injured Falcon. Timeout. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by PlayStation, the best place to play sports. Dick's Sporting Goods, every season starts at Dick's. NFL.com/mobile, stream live local Sunday and primetime games on your smartphone. And Autotrader.com, land a great deal on your perfect car at Autotrader.com. Very honored, John, to be next to you and Signatures at Kroll's, famous restaurant right across the street here at Lambeau Field. Our coverage from Spider Camp tonight brought to you by DirecTV.
They serve a good butter burger. How many did you have? 2?
I did not have butter on mine, and you know that, and you chastised me for it.
They're great.
Yeah, one of the great spots here, just right outside the gate here at Lambeau Field. Soliai helped off by the athletic training staff. In the 21, the Packers get it back to Lacy. That time strung out, and the Atlanta defense rallies. John, you mentioned Soliai, Tyson Jackson, the money they spent, $25 million invested, veteran from Miami. Here's how he got hurt as he was pursuing Lacy, and that spin move made. Ran into Joplo Bartu, his own linebacker. As they look at his shoulder, Corey Peters, third round pick back in 2010, comes into the lineup.
Watch out at the bottom of the screen. Richard Rodgers, this matchup against a linebacker.
Rodgers, the rookie tight end out of Cal. Aaron Rodgers tried to get it to Lacy, but in the traffic there, it's incomplete. Good job by Peters, who was pushing in to clog it all up, and Warrilow to knock it away.
Green Bay uses a lot of formations. I call them revealing formations. They put tight ends outside of wide receivers, running backs in the slot. And they do that to get Aaron Rodgers some pre-snap information. And on 3rd and long, let's see if Mike Nolan comes after Aaron Rodgers with one of his creative blitzes that he's known for.
He saw where the secondary is going, uses that information. Nobody's open. Chased by Bierman. Rodgers puts it up for grabs. And it's incomplete. Just puts it out in the first row as no one was open. And it's 4th down.
And you see what Atlanta's doing. They're doing a little bit of what the Patriots did last week. Rush 4, use 7 in coverage, plaster to your man. You must hold your coverage a long time because Aaron Rodgers has had a long time to throw the ball tonight. Nice work by this Falcons secondary. And here's Mason, who's been very good this year.
3 missed field goals, one of them blocked for Crosby. 2nd in Green Bay, points scored behind another very good kicker, Ryan Longwell. From 38, able to bang it through. 3 possessions, 3 scores. Green Bay by 10. A little sense of how close the houses are in the neighborhoods here in Lambeau. We'll be on the Lake Shore next Monday night in Chicago. And what has happened to the Saints? The Bears, same story as well. They're both 5-8, but the Saints are the team that still could be very much in the NFC South chase when we see you from Chicago next Monday night. Monday night countdown starts at 6 Eastern time. It is such a neat setting, Lambeau. You mentioned you were an assistant here for 3 years. And for the folks who haven't been here, that shot was just great to illustrate. You're a block away from houses, residential neighborhoods, and it's so much a part of the community, this stadium.
Yeah, if you haven't been here, you have to find a way to see a game.
Esther, where he had his first return touchdown, this stadium. Only to the 20 on that one. Well covered on that directional kickoff. Matt Ryan's only run 11 plays here thus far. Aaron Rodgers' team has had the dominant edge. Ryan's in a 10-point hold. It's been a struggle for Atlanta's offensive line. A bunch of injuries. They've played 4 different moves at left tackle, 3 at left guard. Hawley has started center. Now it's the rookie Stone. Right guard's been stable. We've had 3 changes, so now a 4th version at right tackle. All these combinations have really made it tough for Matt Ryan. He was without Harry Douglas, his number 3 receiver, for some 4 weeks. Lack of continuity because of injuries really have kept this offense in check. Ryan to Julio Jones, crossing. Almost lost the ball, but he hangs on and he gains 25 yards on 1st down.
We'll give that offensive line credit. They give Matt Ryan time to stretch his drop and throw the ball downfield once again to Julio Jones, who does a beautiful job coming out of the break.
70 yards on 4 catches already for Jones. Ryan loading up, looking downfield. He threw an interception, trying to throw it away, and Morgan Burnett got it. And Burnett's got a chance to score. Picked up a block. Burnett at the 20. Pulled down at the 14-yard line. Devin Hester standing on the sideline. Ryan was trying to get rid of it, and instead, it turns into a turnover.
As good as Matt Ryan is, he tries to make too much happen too many times. And when you feel like you have to outscore the other team's quarterback every week, these are the decisions that you make. He threw that ball blindly to Devin Hester. And what a block by Sam Shields as Morgan Burnett is off to the races. Bad decision, especially on an early down, but Sam Shields, what a great effort to spring Burnett.
And Burnett from the Atlanta area, North Clayton High School in College Park, Georgia. But you make a good point there, John, because Matt Ryan makes so many good choices and so many good decisions. But that was a terrible one there, and it adds to this Packer run this year of the turnover margin. And you never want to give a short field to this explosive offense.
Can't do it. Plus 16. You can win a world championship with that number.
Rodgers flips it, Randall Cobb. Bierman chases. Stretched it out and let the rest of his teammates get there. Terrific job by Troy Bierman for the third time tonight. Impact play.
That's one Falcon you can always count on. Coming off an injury, Bierman plays with tremendous effort. That time he reversed field and ran down Randall Cobb. And Green Bay continues to attack in this no-huddle offense. One back, one tight end, and three receivers, and Rodgers picks his favorite play.
319. 319.
Second and 11. Throws it complete. The rookie Devontae Adams spinning and brought down at the 10. He's continued to emerge, especially last week with the Patriots. 121 yards against New England.
Well, he led the nation in receiving at Fresno State. He's just getting used to this cold weather, Mike. Outstanding young prospect. A lot of rookie contributors on a 9-3 football team. That sums up Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff. Great teachers.
This would be a huge stop for the Falcons' hopes if they can keep the Packers to a field goal. 3rd and 5. Rodgers looking for somewhere to go. He escapes. Has the first down.
Hard to stop. He's got 5 eligibles in the pattern. He surveys the defense. Protection holds up. He senses a lane, and he has the athleticism to run for first downs. He can stop and throw it late in the down. Double-edged sword. On his way to the MVP, if you ask me, Mike.
Spread out here on 1st and goal. At just inside the 2, Rodgers will take a timeout. Didn't like the look, given the personnel they had out there. No running backs, 1 tight end and 4 receivers.
On the 1-yard line, Mike McCarthy calls 0-1-4. No backs, 1 tight end, and 4 receivers. You're at the 1-yard line. But Mike McCarthy every week has a twist, something the defense hasn't seen, they can't prepare for.
You know, John, there's a term, it's a military term. Go back to the Gulf War, was used, I think, by General Schwarzkopf. Command and control. And that's what I see with Aaron Rodgers. He's in complete command of everything that's going on and in control of the game, just like there. He's got the legs at this point, 31 years old this week. Nobody's open. I'll just go get the first down, get myself down, and keep ourselves alive.
You know what I love about him was when he got hurt last year, he realized how much he missed football.
Yeah.
And he's invested his entire life in this Green Bay Packer team, his teammates, the preparation. He's willing it out of his teammates. He's teaching the young players the offense. Says a lot about Rodgers' greatness, not only on the field, but off.
They changed the personnel, bring a running back on the field. It's Eddie Lacy.
319.
Rodgers looks to throw. It's Lacy into the end zone for his second quarter touchdown.
He wanted to throw that ball to Devontae Adams, and the Falcons disguised the coverage. But the quick decision-making of Aaron Rodgers pays off again. He wants to throw the ball to Adams against one-on-one coverage. He gives him a hand signal. He sets up to throw the ball to his right. Oh, they doubled him right to his check down. You can play with a quick release. You can have quick feet, but it sure helps when you have a quick decision-maker, and that's Aaron Rodgers to a T.
Crosby's 3rd extra point. 4 possessions, 4 scores to Green Bay. The Ryan turnover turns into a Green Bay touchdown. The Matt Ryan interception by Morgan Burnett, who's having his best season. Really a game changer there. The Falcons needed a score to stay within 1 possession. Now you turn around to a 17-point game. Very different play, or very different game because of that play. And John will show you what perhaps Ryan didn't see after this Crosby kickoff to Hester. Devin from about 8 yards deep. Well covered. Down to 12.
Well, you get great field position. You want to take a shot to Roddy White at the top of the screen, and nobody's there. And Ryan's just got to throw this ball away. He never saw Morgan Burnett, who has the easy interception. Bad decision. Sometimes Matt Ryan tries to do too much. Understandable with the way that they play defense, but that one very costly. And Morgan Burnett, the leading tackler of the Green Bay Packers, makes a big play.
Taking over from his own 12-yard line, Steven Jackson trying to get the edge. Out to the 18-yard line. We're watching the Green Bay Packers here the last few weeks. They're playing a 3-safety defense. Could that be one of those, John, when you see the deep shot covered, that you think all the DBs are down there, and that safety, Burnett, lurking? You didn't think he'd be down there, and that's why Ryan threw it.
Well, they're very versatile with Clinton Dix, their first-round draft choice. Micah Hyde has 10 passes broken up, and Morgan Burnett leads them in tackles. Remember, Charles Woodson was a defensive MVP for Dom Capers, playing all over the place. He loves multiple safeties and their versatility.
Clay Matthews now playing on the end as the run goes the opposite way. And the first down is picked up.
That's Steven Jackson, over 800 consecutive touches, and he hasn't fumbled. Has not ever been on a winning football team, Mike. He's been to the playoffs, I think, one time, maybe with the Rams, twice on an 8-8 football teams. Starving for an opportunity to be in prime time in the postseason. It just hasn't happened for Steven Jackson.
Thought it would come when he got here. 4 wins, disappointing season last year. Sitting on 5 and 7 now. Ryan, pass deflected in the air and intercepted.
Green Bay continues to blow people out in Lambeau Field.
LaTroy Guion gets the deflection.
Blitz comes off the left side, and Guion, an unsung hero. They lost B.J. Raji to a torn bicep in the preseason, and Guion keeps his eyes on Matt Ryan and throws that flipper up at the last second for the tip. And then he has the athletic ability to find the deflection and make a diving interception. And that's going to be incomplete. Yep. I hate to say that, but LaTroy Guion is not going to get credit for it.
He can just edit it right to that point and say, look at the play I made a few years ago. Great to have our boss, Bob Iger, Walt Disney Company Chairman and CEO at the game. Our ESPN President, John Skipper, sitting next to him. Bob telling us before the game his career in television started also on Monday Night Football, part of the production team back in the early days. Here's Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, the pass hit the ground. It's incomplete pass. Please set the game clock to 2:56, and the ball be placed on the 22-yard line, second out.
Almost a great moment for Guy. A terrific athletic play for the former Viking, but just couldn't secure the catch when he stretched out.
They're so much more athletic inside this year than they have been. Guion, a big part of that. He and Mike Daniels, and here's Matt Ryan, his 2nd and 10.
That left-handed snap from the ambidextrous center out of the shotgun. But the 2 hands of Jacquizz Rodgers didn't bring in the pass. Incomplete.
And this is where the Green Bay Packers are at their best. Here they come into their dime package. You see 29, Hayward checking in. He's a ball magnet. 6 interceptions as a rookie. He has 3 this year. He's returned 2 balls for scores. But Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator at Green Bay since 2009, relishes 3rd and long. This is where they're at their best.
You might see here Clay Matthews rushing against his first cousin Jake, bottom of the screen. Here they are. Ryan fires left side for Jones, incomplete. Sam Shields with the coverage. Clinton Dix, the safety, was waiting for the potential pick.
Take a look at Jake Matthews, the rookie left tackle, blocking his cousin Clay Matthews on the inside move. They wash him down to the inside, but coverage down the field holds up beautifully. And here's Micah Hyde, who's dangerous.
There's only been a couple of plays where those Matthews cousins have gone head-to-head. Thus far here tonight. Bosher set to kick. Pressure up the middle. Hyde's going to come up with room from the 31. Hyde cuts back through the middle. Micah Hyde down at the 47-yard line. 16 on the return of the kick. It was 47. Well, 2 years ago, December 2, 2012, a little trickeration. Rodgers threw it. It was intercepted by Minnesota's Hunter Smith. It's the last time Rodgers threw a pick here at Lambeau. So this is 13th start since, 378 tosses, 32 touchdowns, all since his last interception, all NFL record streaks. Bill Belichick's defense couldn't take it away from Rodgers last week as he added to those numbers.
I still can't believe that's accurate. I got to go back and study these statistics. How do you go 12 games and not throw an interception at home? I guess he's really good, Mike.
Like you said, playing at an MVP level, and this is where they have done their damage to teams. They've applied the knockout so often. Up 17, 2.5 to go. Quarter blitz is picked up, and Rodgers throwing to Nelson is incomplete.
He's disgusted with that. He wanted that. He and Jordy not on the same page, but there's so much that goes into the pass protection plan of these Green Bay Packers. They get help for their tackles when they need it, and it's in these long yardage and 2-minute situations that they're very creative with these nudges and chips from these tight ends on these defensive ends.
Giving instructions to Brandon Bostic, the second-year tight end. Flips it out to Starks. The running backs are having a massive night here for the Packers. First down, James Starks.
Well, when you check the ball down against the zone defense, you have to make the tackle. And Paul Warlow fails miserably in one-on-one situations there against James Starks for the second time.
Number 39, get one in before the 2-minute warning. Cobb spinning. First down, Randall Cobb. Still going to the 21-yard line. A master class being put on by Aaron Rodgers and the Packer offense tonight. Look who was back in Green Bay. His first public appearance here since he retired from the NFL in 2010. Brett Favre, wife Deanna, landed earlier today, went to an event. There was a fundraiser. Steve Young was at it. Bart Starr was also involved, but Bart Starr, as you know, has been battling some health issues. Bart's son was there. Brett Favre's number will be retired by the Packers next year in the summer. They'll have a ceremony for it. It'll be something in the stadium during the year. Then he'll go into the Hall of Fame in all likelihood the following season. But needless to say, as Aaron Rodgers' specter continues to grow, the process of Brett Favre being welcomed back into the Packer family continues. Another small step happening here today.
That's a great thing, and wish he had an opportunity to be in attendance tonight. But in his first 100 games here, I think his one-loss record was very similar to the 100 that Aaron Rodgers has played here, Mike.
It'll be exactly the same if Rodgers and the Packers hold on to this win here tonight. Aaron Rodgers had every opportunity to say, I was put in a tough spot in the transition, but he has not, and he's handled it with class, has continued to excel along the way. First down toss with Lacy. Eddie Lacy's taken down at the 16-yard line. 1:48. Green Bay has 2 timeouts left.
Watch Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers use the clock. They're going to try to score a touchdown and leave Matt Ryan with nothing. Situational football, 2-minute offense. Rodgers, McCarthy, 2 of the best.
Struggles inside the 20 last week. Perfect here tonight. 16, Rodgers, quick release, Nelson. Jordy Nelson is the first down. At the 10-yard line, Robert McClain twisting him down.
Quick release. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks try to quicken their release, but they lose their accuracy. It seems Rodgers quickens his release every year, and he increases his accuracy. What a throw.
Packers have run 39 plays. They have 21 first downs. First and goal from the 10. Rodgers flush, and he just benches it, throws it away with 34 seconds left until halftime. Paul Soliai, who was injured earlier, came back in, flushed him out of the pocket. Chris Berman has the Toyota halftime coming up. We'll check in with Chris Mortensen, Adam Schefter, the insider notes around the league. 49ers lose to the Raiders. What's the fallout? Conversations from the guys. Everything that happened in sports today, you'll see it today on SportsCenter. All coming up with Chris on the Toyota halftime. Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb go to the top of the screen. Jordy Nelson, Richard Rodgers to the bottom. Rodgers slant to Rodgers, incomplete. Trying to get the fellow Cal Bear. This one the rookie tight end. It'll be 3rd and goal.
You don't often see tight ends play wide receiver, but you're seeing more and more of that in pro football with these hybrid type players. And Richard Rodgers, as you say, a rookie from Cal, has proven that he can go outside and mismatch linebackers and safeties as a rookie. So 3rd and goal, Mike. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Look for a maximum zone here. I expect Atlanta to rush 3 and play pass defense.
Nelson isolated, the only receiver to the right. Lacey joins him in the slot. Rodgers got away from Bierman. Throws on the run. Touchdown, Nelson!
Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, can't do any more than he just did. He rushed 3, and he used Troy Bierman as a spy on Aaron Rodgers. Number 71, he's spying on Rodgers, and Rodgers says, not tonight, you're not. Jordy Nelson, second reaction plays. They installed this scramble drill day 1 at training camp, and nobody does it better than the Green Bay Packers, and the route is on.
Touchdown number 11 for Jordy Nelson. Waiting for confirmation from the replay booth. And it's 30-7, about to be 31. They've had it 5 times. I don't know what happened to that field goal drive. Well, they have 4 touchdowns, the latest to Jordy Nelson. In the win over Minnesota in Week 5, it's now 6 straight home games. 23 points or more in the first half. It's an NFL record. Exclamation point was the 42 they hung on Chicago in Week 10. No return by Hester. You said it, John, those second reaction plays when they're on the move and on the run, and he and Jordy Nelson so on the same page and so effortless. No reason to double check it. You look at it the first time, you know it's really special.
I'm not kidding you. They go to training camp and they install the scramble drill on the first night of camp. And these receivers anticipate Rodgers taking off. They know exactly where to go. They have extreme urgency, and that's when they do a lot of damage.
24 seconds, full complement of timeouts for Atlanta, and Ryan will drop back. And fire to Julio Jones, approaching 100 yards in the first half as Jones gets to midfield, and the Falcons stop it with 15 seconds left. Game for Julio. We mentioned the story of the Matthews family tonight. Bruce Matthews was the Hall of Fame offensive lineman. His son Jake playing for the Falcons, so Bruce over there far left in the Falcons jersey of his son, number 70. Of course, Clay, was his dad Clay up in the same box as well. Going head-to-head here again on this snap, although Clay moves inside to rush Ryan, who fires incomplete with 10 seconds left until halftime. They've only gone head-to-head a few times. Here they are.
Clay Matthews on a bull rush, and Jake sat down on him. Jake's holding his own against the Pro Bowl pass rusher. What a family battle it is. And Jake Matthews, how would you like to lean on your dad, a 19-year veteran, Hall of Fame lineman that played all 5 positions, by the way. What a player Bruce Matthews was, and his son's off to a great start.
10 seconds left with timeouts. Falcons trying to get just enough yards to give a chance for Matt Bryant to kick a field goal. Time running down as Ryan takes off. He's getting into field goal range, and we'll stop it here with 3 seconds left. Now, it is a cold night. Field goal attempt from 53 yards to be right at the edge for Matt Bryant, but this is a guy who has hit some great field goals over the years.
Kicked some for me. He kicked a 62-yarder for me a few years ago. And Matt Bryant in this weather, this is the red zone fringe. The ball slightly outside of that red area. And Mike Smith told us last night we probably need to add another 3 or 4 yards on to Bryant's range in this weather. Bryant, who's used to kicking that ball in that dome, let's see if he has long range distance from 53.
Snap was high, and the timing was thrown off, and the Packers may have gotten a piece of that as the half comes to an end.
Came right up the middle. Snap is high. Operation time is off. And guess who? Clay Matthews.
Packers in there to knock it away. Toyota halftime coming up with Chris. The Packers score 24 in a row and lead 31-7. As the man said, what a show this man has put on tonight, and a lot of the nights and days in this 2014 NFL season. Aaron Rodgers on his way to an MVP-type season in complete control of what the Packers are doing. All 24 second quarter points. John, they lead 31-7. We'll hear from Lisa Salters on the sideline in a minute. Time for our Azale's extraordinary moments. And go back to the beginning of the game when you put out the things that are making them so good right now.
He does a lot. Mike McCarthy gives him freedom to audible. He sees those two safeties. He knows it's a soft run defense. He changes the play, signals it to everybody, and calmly hands the ball off to Eddie Lacy for a big run. And is he accurate? Indeed he is. Tight window throws, any kind of weather, not a problem. And when you have Corey Bierman, number 71, as the spy, he can scramble and get away from them and create first downs, touchdowns. There's that patented discount double check. He has the Packers flying high right now, Mike.
Such a crushing performance for Atlanta. Man, they beat Arizona last week. They're feeling a little bit better about their team. And you saw that opening drive. They came down the field aggressive. They looked in good shape. And a crucial turnover, and Nelson and Rodgers and company have just taken over, and now they're dominating them. And this Atlanta team still in control of their fate in the NFC South. No matter what happens here tonight, we've got to find some momentum on the offensive side of the ball in this second half.
Got to find something. Got to find a pass rush. It's almost been ridiculous in the first half. Aaron Rodgers deserves a lot of credit, but the offensive line has dominated the front four of the Atlanta Falcons. It hasn't even been close.
Atlanta will get the ball first. It's a Packer team that is closing in on win 10. They're 9-3. The Falcons have won 9 games the last 2 years combined. The 4-12 season last year. And they're staring at 5-8 unless Matt Ryan can pull off a comeback, likes of which you don't often see on the road, especially at Lambeau Field. Crosby the kick. Hester from 7 yards deep. Kevin Hester trying to get the edge, strung out, taken out of bounds, shy of the 20. Here's Lisa Salters.
Mike, I asked Mike Smith what adjustments they have to make to try to slow the Packers down, and he said, we've got to tackle better, take better angles, and make the tackle, because he said they're just checking the ball down and moving it down the field. As for what he planned to say to his guys in the locker room down 31-7, he said, I'm just going to tell them, hey, we've got 30 more minutes to go out there and frickin' play the way we know we're capable of playing. Mike?
Mike has tried to reach this team in different ways over this year. It's a year full of disappointing losses, including a couple that Mike took the heat for mismanaging the clock. Ryan taking the shot. Jones is open, and Julio Jones with the move to the middle of the field, being pursued by Shields. Williams and Shields finally get Jones all the way at the 3-yard line. Big play to start for Julio Jones.
Julio Jones freaking hurt Mike Smith. One-on-one coverage. Slant and go. Call it a sluggo, and he beats Vermont Williams bad. Great blitz pickup by the Atlanta Falcons, and it sets up a 1st and goal. How about Julio Jones? Not many guys have hit the 4,000-yard mark as fast as the former Crimson Tide great.
Only one other. That's a 79-yard catch. Hester in motion, a hand to Hester. Blocked by Toilolo, the tight end, wasn't good enough. And it's no gain for Devin Hester.
Atlanta struggled last week in the red zone against Arizona. Had to settle for 5 Matt Bryant field goals. That time a jet sweep, a college play that Devin Hester did not fool the Packers. Look for Steven Jackson, who slammed it across the goal line the last time they were down here tight.
Jackson right. No gain. Morgan Burnett, an interception earlier. A big play there.
Morgan Burnett having a big night. He's the unblocked man. They run the ball to the weak side. They don't have Burnett accounted for. That's a wasted play. Good call by Dom Capers. And it sets up a huge 3rd and goal. Julio Jones is checked back in for this Falcon offense. He'll be split wide to the left against Sam Shields.
Play clock at 3. Ryan rolls it. Look at Julio's way. Broken up. Micah Hyde knocked it away. They hit a 79-yard shot to Jones. Can't get in. 4th and goal. I think they're going to go for it.
This Micah Hyde. The 11th pass, number 33, the former Iowa Hawkeye, has broken up. One of the most reliable, versatile Green Bay Packers makes a huge play. You're right. Here come the Falcons on 4th down.
Ryan, touchdown, and Eric Weems comes in underneath, gets his 9th reception of the year. The former Pro Bowl special teamer gets his 1st touchdown of the season.
Weems on an under route gives Atlanta life. 4th and goal. I thought Mike Smith might kick the field goal, but Weems, an outstanding special teams player who's filling in as a slot receiver.
Worked off the pick. The rub by Toilolo. Bryant adds the extra point. The star play of that drive was Ryan to Julio Jones, 79 yards. Sets up the Weems score. Gives Atlanta some hope. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2015 GMC vehicle at gmc.com/NFL. NFLshop.com. Find the perfect holiday gift at the official store of the NFL. And DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. We always visit the Green Bay Curling Club. Mark Ortega, Joe Smiley, Jim Dove, and local sportscaster Leslie Spoon, who joined our group leading the championship team. They get the cheese belt for this year. We always love to go over the Green Bay Curling Club and a little team bonding event.
That was fixed.
Fixed. Maybe if you participated, you have a chance to win the belt. DeJuan Harris, the kickoff. Shy of the 20-yard line. Rodgers in the offense scored all 5 possessions thus far here tonight.
Well, as these second reaction plays, Rodgers looks down the field, he makes a man miss, he holds the ball for 6 seconds, and Jordy Nelson senses his quarterback is in trouble. He has the presence to uncover, and he maintains line awareness. They never get lost on the field. They communicate non-verbally as well as any quarterback and receiving combination in football, and it's a big part of their success.
Green 18.
Starting from the 20, going back to the air. Rodgers, first look was covered. Bierman chasing him again. And taking him to the sideline. No gain. Flag down.
Holding, number 70. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
TJ Lang guilty there. He's looking up the big screen to see the replay because he disagrees.
Thought he got Tyson Jackson, but what a night Rodgers is having. Over 70% again, and that touchdown and interception ratio continues to add up. But this is a critical moment for the Falcon defense, Mike. Big score to start the third quarter. A stop here gives Matt Ryan and the Falcons life. Important they get off the field now.
Will Moore injured in the first half, still out for the Falcons, who continue to play three safeties. Rodgers checked it down to Lacey, almost hand-delivered it to Warlow. Let's go back to the story for Rodgers, taking care of the ball, not turning it over. Aaron Rodgers, touchdown to interception ratio, so much significantly higher than number 2 all-time Tom Brady. And you look at the margin between Brady and Manning, and then on down to other great quarterbacks. That's the 4th or 5th best with Steve Young and Phillip Rivers, and Rodgers is almost double. Gives you an idea of how incredible he's been taking care of the ball during his career. Second and 20, he's pressured here. Oh, he got it to Lacey just before O.C. Umenyiora was about to sack him, and it turns into a 12-yard gain instead of a 7-yard loss.
I'm surprised they don't hand the ball to Lacey more. He's not carrying it quite as much as he did last year, but man, does he make the most of his opportunities. Rodgers gets hit hard, but watch Eddie Lacy finish. Oh. Punishing back. Like O.C. Umenyiora.
You talk about the absence of a pass rush. The former Giant, now in his 12th year, perhaps his final year. A part-time player with a good effort there. Setting up a 3rd and 7. Umenyiora spins again. Couldn't get home that time. Rodgers, home run ball. A lot of contact. No call as Desmond Trufant and Devontae Adams are going back and forth. And John, as you said, the much-needed 3 and out from the Atlanta defense.
And a critical stop, Mike. You see Adams on a go route and Trufant in tight coverage. Atlanta's off the field, and let's see if Mastay, who hasn't punted all night, is loose, because Devin Hester would love to take it back for the 4th time against these Packers.
The all-time kickoff or kick return for touchdown man Hester awaits back at the 35. You saw the Packers were one shy with personnel. They just get the snap off in time, and they almost got to the punch. Weems almost blocked it. It's a poor kick, and it'll be good field position for the Falcons. Flag is down, thrown at the line of scrimmage. As Green Bay was running folks on, did they have enough people on the line of scrimmage? As Weems busted in there and almost got it.
Weems, who just scored a touchdown, is an outstanding special teams player.
There's no foul on the play for an illegal formation by the kicking team. Timeout.
So they determined the man who ran out there did get himself on the line. Falcons a little momentum here, early 3rd. Of course, this is Jimmy V week, so special to all of us in ESPN. JimmyV.org online or 1-800-4JimmyV to help Jim Valvano's hopes, his dreams that he had some 2 decades ago, find a cure for cancer. 100% of your cash donations go directly to research. Jimmy V week last year, almost $2 million, $8 million plus over the last 7 years. So many of you have been so generous. It means so much to us, and we appreciate you being a part of keeping Jimmy V's dream alive. You know, our Monday Night Football pal, Stuart Scott, continuing his courageous battle. He was given that honor at the ESPYs this year, the Jimmy V Award. Thinking of your partner and sending you our best wishes. Our whole group misses you as well out here on the road each week. To use the basketball parlance, it's a score and a stop. Now can they score again and Atlanta keep this game reasonable? Not Steven Jackson there. Loss of a yard. Turned away by Mike Neal.
Mike Neal's an interesting Packer. Former defensive end, has lost 50 pounds and turned him in Turned himself into an outside linebacker, played over 700 snaps last year at the outside linebacker position, and he's really improved. Setting the edge for this Packer defense.
Second and 11. It's Harry Douglas with blocking. Douglas very close to the first down, and Hyde pulled him down by a face mask. So tacking on might take him to the 30-yard line here after Douglas's first catch of the night.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Number 53, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Matt Ryan quickly unloads these quick screens, and they love to use Jake Matthews as the lead blocker. You see Hyde clearly grab the face mask, and Atlanta is knocking on the door. Great field position, and this crowd is silenced.
Carl Johnson, the former director of officials, now back on the field through that face mask flag, putting Atlanta down at the 31-yard line of the Packers. And Ryan looking Julio's way towards Jones in the end zone. Feet down, no, out of bounds. Incomplete.
Beautiful thing. They have worked very hard on their deep passing game after practice. And they got Patrick Peterson twice last week, and Julio just runs out of real estate. Great place to throw the go ball, right around the 30-yard line. These cornerbacks don't think you're going to run by them. They have a tendency to squat. Julio Jones is shredding secondaries.
He's back. I was talking to Terry Rapinski, who you just saw there, the receiver coach on the field, about that look in Jones' eye again. Freeman has stopped. Clay Matthews was waiting for him.
He's getting a feel for this linebacker position. I got a feeling you could play him at outside, inside. Just put him on the field. He sees Freeman on this cutback run. He falls back and makes a beautiful one-on-one tackle. They moved him inside, Mike, and he said, I had every excuse ready for me not being able to do it. And now he loves it. He's more part of the action, and here he is rushing his cousin on 3rd and long.
Ryan nowhere to go, and sacked. It was the coverage downfield that forced Ryan to hold on to it, and Clay Matthews finally got the better of cousin Jake, and the sack of Ryan.
Well, I asked Jake Matthews to give a self-scout of Clay Matthews, and he said he's relentless. I got to match his intensity, and that time he failed to do it. But in fairness to Jake Matthews, if you hold the ball too long, Clay Matthews will find you and sack you.
Long field goal. Remember, the last one from 53 was partially blocked. They credited Jones with that block for Green Bay. From 50, Bryant able to make it and get the 3 on the board. The flag down. Let's see. Penalty flag thrown on the near side.
Defense, offside, penalties declined. The result of the play is a good field goal. Timeout.
So it makes it 31-17, and on that sack by Clay Matthews, you got Harry from Matt Ryan. He got bent back, and he limped off the field after that drive. Aaron Rodgers to begin the new era in Green Bay Packer football. Oh, boy. Touchdown, Green Bay. And Rodgers sneaking into the touchdown. Got a Lambeau leap in you, Aaron? Go take it. It seems so long ago, 6 years and a few months. I remember Aaron Rodgers talking about that start. So much apprehension, so much build-up. I remember sitting here in this booth and looking down and seeing in this lower deck so many number 4 jerseys. It's such a hard time letting go of Brett Favre, and understandably so. Rodgers won that first start. He's done a lot of winning since DeJuan Harris, the kick return for Green Bay. Former Wisconsin Badger, Desmond Southward with the tackle.
He's got one of the quickest releases. Watch how long it takes him to get that ball out of his hand. Inside of 0.3 of a second. quick trigger. Defenses don't have the time to react. Every year they do ball quickness drills, grip strength drills to improve the release, the timing and accuracy of Aaron Rodgers. And at 31 years of age, he's never felt better. He's changed his workout, his diet. Even Mike McCarthy's changed the schedule. And let's see if he can put Atlanta away.
Back to a 2-score game, approaching the halfway mark of the third.
319. 319.
Lacey cuts it back, and Lacey runs to the 30-yard line. Gain of 7 on first down for Eddie.
That's what I want to see Green Bay do. Lean on Eddie Lacy. 2-score lead at home, cold out. Lacey had almost 1,200 yards, led all rookies last year. He's got over 700 this year. He can pound you in these situations.
Approaching another 100 yards from scrimmage night. Nothing there, and Bierman and company gave him no room to cut back that time. And Lacey will lose a yard or so.
That's what these Falcons have to do. You see Paul Soliai, Tyson Jackson, huge investments to stop the run. And on 3rd down and 3, Rodgers back into his muddle huddle. Atlanta has countered with some speed rushers. Let's see if Osi Umenyiora, who got there earlier, can create a rush here.
Again, Atlanta playing 6 defensive backs, 3 corners, 3 safeties.
319. 319.
One of those safeties looking to bring some pressure. Lowry, Rodgers, chased by Bierman again, gets rid of it, and it's caught. Dangerous hit as Cobbs got it for the first down across midfield into Falcon territory. Kamal Ishmael, the Falcons safety, took the worst of that contact. And we'll have an injury timeout here.
Well, let's hope Ishmael's all right, but how tough is Randall Cobb? Big collision as soon as Cobb caught the football, and Ishmael is still down.
Before that Falcon field goal, their last drive, saw Matt Ryan was bent backwards by Matthews. Medical staff not looking at him on the sideline. He's talking to his offensive line with Mike Tice, the offensive line coach, during that timeout as the injury to Kamal Ishmael happened. The good news is he walked off along with the athletic training staff, and assessing and discussing right now with Ishmael, but good to see him walk off. Will Moore was hurt earlier, so the Falcons are down to 2 safeties, Lowry and Southward, the rookie. 1st and 10 for Rodgers. Nelson's open. And Jordy Nelson's down at the 19-yard line.
Rodgers just missed that throw. It's a bootleg. And number 27, Robert McClain, bit badly in run support. Jordy Nelson throws his hands up, and if Rodgers makes a better throw, it's another walk in the park. Jordy Nelson has 6 catches for touchdowns of over 40 yards here in Lambeau Field, Mike. That would have been number 7. Bad defense by Atlanta.
Was his 7th catch of the night, closing in on 100 yards.
319. 319.
Packers back in the red zone where they've been good tonight. Rodgers checks it down to Lacey. Open field, holding on was McClain. Burned a moment ago. He's in a starting role as Robert Alford's out for the 3rd game with a fractured wrist. So think about it, John. They've got 2 safeties out. The corner, McClain, or Alford never played tonight. So it's the last secondary that's been beat up during the year, and again here this evening.
And their best linebacker, Sean Witherspoon, hurt in the offseason. Paul Warlow, their leading tackler, has 111 tackles, team captain, undrafted out of Delaware.
319.
Just his 2nd year in the league. Lacey cut it back. Lacey spinning and brought down the 15-yard line. So we'll get to 3rd down here.
But you're right, when you lose 2 safeties, your Pro Bowl or All-Pro linebacker you don't have a pass rush. It's hard for Mike Nolan to call the defenses that he called when they were in the Final Four a couple of years ago against the 49ers.
No doubt. Like Javier Arenas just ran out on the field. He's only played a dozen snaps of defense all year. And here he is in a big spot. Number 28, the former Kansas City Chief. 3rd and 6.
Do it. 319. 319.
Rodgers. End zone. Lacy couldn't pull it in. Warlow able to break it up.
I like this Warlow. Comes out of nowhere. Voted by his peers as a team captain. He has 111 tackles. Here he is covering Eddie Lacy. You know, he's played 99.8% of the snaps, something like that,
Yep.
Mike. He doesn't come off the field. Boy, has Atlanta got their money's worth out of Paul Warlow.
Something like that is exactly right. 7th highest percentage of snaps played by any defensive player in the league. Like you said, 2nd year out of Delaware, not drafted. Really been an impact player. Mason Crosby from 33. Knocks a 2nd field goal through. And the Packers on the board. Extend the lead once again to 17. Mike Holmgren, Ron Wolf showed up here. The magic is turned around for Green Bay. Franchise success. They were the head coach GM combo that got things turned in the early 90s, and then it has been extended with Ted Thompson as the general manager along with Mike McCarthy. A lot of controversy around that Favre decision that we discussed earlier. It seems so long ago now. This is a place where they draft players, they build through an organizational philosophy that they've stuck to during this McCarthy-Thompson tenure. And the results have been terrific for Green Bay.
Draft the right players and turn them over to Mike McCarthy, and boy, do they do a great job of developing players at every position. They expect a lot out of these second-year Packers. They don't give them forever to develop. They sure do put them on a fast track.
You're thinking Hester's going to run up, but Weems gets it instead at the 10. And returns the short kickoff to the 27-yard line. Some of the specifics on what is now the longest tenure of head coach and general manager uninterrupted together. Starting in 2006, 3rd best regular season record in the league, 4 division titles, 6 times to the playoffs, and winning Super Bowl 45. And in position to add to all of those here this season with Green Bay sitting atop the division at 9-3. Packers shaking up on that kickoff return, so medical staff out to check on Brad Jones, who had that blocked field goal at the end of the first half. We're telling you about the collaboration of Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy. Look at these numbers. The Packers have 33 of the players that they drafted on their 53-man roster, highest composition of that subject in the league, and 48 of the 53-man roster haven't played anywhere else. They're Packers. So when we talk about the players that they draft and develop, they don't go out and sign in free agency. There's consistency, stability, and success. Ryan, first down. He throws to his fullback. First look for DeMarco tonight. And Patrick's taken down right around the first down marker, gain of 9.
We'll go back to Mike McCarthy. One thing you didn't say, Mike, is he's also assembled a great coaching staff. We saw him on the practice field. He wants his assistant coaches to dominate on the grass. Teach these players what to do and then come up with drills to show them how to do it. But it's a collection of great assistant coaches, and Mike McCarthy, Ted Thompson deserve a lot of credit for overseeing all of it.
2nd and 1 and a first down run for Jacquizz Rodgers across the 42, the 43-yard line here as we get to the 3-minute mark. The noise you're hearing in the background, fans are doing the wave.
Aaron Rodgers said, let's do that when we're on defense.
Right.
They've even improved the crowd control here. Mike McCarthy has changed the schedule. Aaron Rodgers has even changed the atmosphere in the stadium. Every year, McCarthy tweaks something. And I think it has a lot to do with the rejuvenation of the Green Bay Packers between the lines.
Rodgers running left. It's a great job by one of those draft picks who's developing in his 2nd year. Sam Barrington came down, John, I know the tackle's going to be credited to Neal, but Barrington charging in closed up the hole.
I think Barrington is beating out A.J. Hawk. The former South Florida Bull from my neighborhood in Tampa played over 45 snaps last week against the Patriots. Gives them girth, size, and he also has good lateral movement and instincts inside. And I don't see A.J. Hawk, I see Barrington.
On second down, Ryan quickly out. Rodgers out of the backfield. The first down. They're going to run by Jaquiz Rodgers into Packer territory. 44.
And if Barrington doesn't prove his pass coverage, we'll see Hawk pretty soon. That time, the veteran Rodgers sneaks out of the backfield and beats Barrington. You've got to find your way through traffic. Poor levels of defense by this Packer defense. Rodgers can hurt you in a passing game.
Feel like offensive coordinator, sorry, John, Dirk Cutter's found a little bit of a rhythm here, play calling and personnel-wise in this second half. 10 points already scored by Ryan. He's got protection, throws the check down to Steven Jackson. Right near the first down mark, no running back active in the league, has as many receptions in his career as that man.
There's Barrington on the tackle, but back to Mike McCarthy. He told us you got to live with some things. When you play a young player, they're going to make mistakes, but we get an opportunity to correct them. He is not afraid to play rookies. I've seen 5 different rookies make huge impacts on a 9-3 team. That is very uncommon.
Nice drive here, Atlanta. Back into the third quarter. Jackson looking for space, but Matthews pulls him away along with Dayton Jones and Mike Daniels up front.
Play Matthews, you have to learn to take on different blockers, see the game from a different angle. He stuffs the fullback DeMarco. He looks like he's been doing it forever.
You surprised how good he looks playing inside linebacker?
I can't believe how good he looks. He just moved there after the New Orleans Saint game. Mike McCarthy called him up in the office. He thought he was getting traded.
3rd and 1, and Jackson just gets back to A.J. Hawk, who does get in the game here on this 3rd and short, and he may have picked up the first down. After 3 at Lambeau, the Packers by 17.
Unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival.
That was 34 years ago tonight during a Monday Night Football game. Of course, Howard Cosell, the Patriots are playing the Dolphins. It was an end-of-game field goal kick coming, and that's the way most of America found out about the passing of Lennon, who was in the Monday Night booth 6 years before that with Cosell, a personal friend of Howard's. That's 34 years ago tonight. Such different times. First down run as this 4th quarter begins with Devontae Freeman. Will lose a couple of yards throughout this year. We've been looking back and commemorating 45 years of Monday Night Football. And the series was only 10 years old at that point. CNN and ESPN were only on the air for about a year, a little more than that. And if something that tragic, God forbid, ever happened in this day and age, word would spread on Twitter. There'd be a murmur in the stadium. Nobody in the building that night knew what had happened until they got home. 2nd down and 12 for Matt Ryan, and the Falcons trying to rally from down 17. Throwing it complete. Freeman, the rookie out of Florida State, brought down to the 30-yard line by Casey Hayward. And we'll have 3rd down coming up.
Mike Smith let his offense have 4 downs the last time they were in the red zone, and on 3rd down is 6. Jaquiz Rodgers checks back in the game. Rodgers, a very effective pass receiver, and Green Bay's played a lot of zone, have not seen very many blitzes, probably out of respect to Julio Jones, who has 180 yards receiving already.
That's why we've seen all these checkdowns. Jones has been getting extra attention, lining up in the slot here. On 3rd and 6, Ryan's looking his way. Got him for the first down inside the 20, and my partners taught me get a guy in the slot, sometimes a lot harder to get that extra attention to him.
Give him a two-way go. Get into these tight slot formations. Try to get Julio Jones in there against a backup, undersized defender, and Matt Ryan with good protection throws a strike.
After 189 yards last week, a career high against Patrick Peterson in Arizona. Julio Jones tonight, career high, 191 yards. Flag down on the run by Jackson across the 10 and to the 9-yard line.
That's on Julio Jones. He was late lining up, and Roddy White or Harry Douglas went in motion.
Illegal shift, number 84 and 11 moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And he knows it too. One little negative mark on that huge night, that career night we mentioned with the 191.
Especially coming off a serious injury. We saw him on Monday night last year against the Jets suffer a terrible injury. A lot of people didn't know if he'd come back to full strength, but when you put 179 up against Patrick Peterson and follow it up with 191 in Lambeau Field, you're all the way back.
First and 15 for Ryan. Julio Jones goes up and gets it, and he's got a touchdown. Julio Jones is on fire, and the Falcons with a life here in the fourth quarter.
No idea what Sam Shields is doing. 6'4", no reroute, no help over the top, no chance. I asked Matt Ryan, are you targeting Patrick Peterson? Do you target Sam Shields? He says, I target Julio Jones. I could care less who's covering him. I can see why.
You mentioned it, pal. The fractured foot that he suffered against the Jets in the Monday night game last year had cutting-edge surgery, a screw bone marrow from his hip, there to repair it. The extra point added by Bryant. It took a while for Julio Jones to get going this year, but is he going? In the last 2 games, he has 402 receiving yards. This touchdown makes it a 10-point game. Back within 10, Julio Jones, I just mentioned it, 402 yards here the last 2 weeks. Second receiving touchdown, but targeted and catching most of the balls. He's getting the attention from the other defense as well. Outstanding performance. Remember, the Falcons made the major move up in the draft to get him, and that injury stopping what was a terrific start to his career as he missed last year. Adding to it here tonight.
This Atlanta Falcon needs the defense needs to cause a turnover. If they can do that, anything can go, Mike.
Should be returned by DeJuan Harris from his own 4. And he got away from a would-be tackle, and Harris will be pushed out by the kicker at the 25-yard line. Matt Bosher with the stop. John watched Julio Jones. There he was on the move. Some of the big plays he's had tonight.
Yeah, slant and go to start the third quarter. Big play, set up a touchdown, and then you just saw him on a fly pattern go up and get another one. Big play receiver. They know how to use them, and Matt Ryan can get him the football.
Jones now leads the league in receiving yards. The Packers by 10. Let's see how they are able to move the ball and keep the clock in their favor. James Starks to the left. Only 1 yard. You said it after the Falcons scored the first touchdown to open this quarter. But you could just sense a little bit of enthusiasm. We heard it from Eric Weems as he ran off the field. Not over yet. And we've seen them on both sides of the ball play better in this second half.
Mike Smith, he got his guys' attention at halftime. You see out there now, number 77, a rookie, Rashid Hageman, has checked into the game. Athletic, disruptive, capable of batting down some passes.
Second and 9, play action. Rodgers, everything covered downfield. And Rodgers on the run, fires to Nelson. Oh, it's almost a big catch and run, but broken up at the last second by Trufant.
That's a great play by Trufant. He had to hold this coverage a long time against a very good receiver. It's a double move on the outside. Rodgers takes off, and he breaks to the inside. That's an excellent play by Trufant.
You talk about the crazy defenses from Mike Nolan. I was watching Corey Bierman, 71, the defensive lineman. He ran back almost in a safety position that was chasing Rodgers. They're trying everything they can. Let's see if they've got a stop for a 3 and out on 3rd and 9. Sends 7 back in coverage, puts some pressure on Rodgers. On the run, the throw is caught by Cobb for the first down. Just shy of the 40, and one more time. He keeps it alive and keeps the chains moving.
How frustrating this must be. Once again, Rodgers gets out of trouble. Cobb is running a basic cross. He reverses field. He sees his quarterback in trouble and goes up and makes another second reaction play. Those are backbreakers. Falcons just can't find a pass rush at all.
319.
Play action, first down. 2 receivers deep. Rodgers gives Nelson a shot. Jordy Nelson! Touchdown! Green Bay! Number 2 on the night.
Free release, double move. No chance for Ismail at safety. That's the 7th time Jordy Nelson has gone long distance. He's going to get up on the safety, break it to the outside, back to the post. You can't see the backside corner. Trufant has to get there, but what a throw by Aaron Rodgers, and Jordy Nelson just ran a textbook double move.
60 yards on that home run shot. Rodgers to Nelson. Aaron's 3rd of the evening. Mason Crosby's extra point is blocked. So it remains 40-24. That is the 2nd time Crosby's had an extra point blocked here this season. Less than 2 minutes after the Falcons touchdown. Yes, sir. Number 12 for Jordy Nelson this year. From number 12. Lambeau tradition, a roll out the barrel being played. Find a partner in dance here. And been a lot of the partnership of Rodgers and Nelson successful this year on the long shots. Over 40 yards at home. 7th time, as John said. That's an NFL record. Crazy Legs Hirsch, Bob Hayes, the incomparable Jerry Rice all had 6, but Jordy Nelson stands alone on that list right now.
Yeah, not a lot of people know how fast he is. They don't respect his deep speed. Kansas high school 100-meter champion. Hello out there. Jordy Nelson can fly. Don't underestimate his speed. He needs to be in his first Pro Bowl this year. 12 touchdowns and 1,300 yards already.
From 2 deep, Devin Hester. He stopped shy of the 30-yard line. 31 on the return. How did it happen?
Well, it's full play action. A fullback secures the edge, and in this close split, Jordy Nelson runs a double move, and you would hope that Trufant could help late, but the ball is thrown perfectly, and it hits Nelson full stride. That's a thing of beauty. Jordy Nelson, if you don't get a free release on him and you let him get up on your safety, forget about it. Do not underestimate this man's speed. 42 touchdowns since 2011. He's just warming up.
The blocked extra point means it's a 16-point game, thus a 2-score game with 2-point conversions. As Ryan finds Julio Jones, who continues his masterpiece of an evening.
Mike McCarthy's going to get upset pretty soon. Take him away and make somebody else beat us. Julio Jones, I don't know what the NFL record is for receiving yardage in a game, but he's well over 200.
He's sitting on 232 now.
52. Sunday. Let's go.
Jackson runs up the middle. Steven Jackson gets a first down to the 48-yard line.
Green Bay's defense has been disappointing in the second half. They've given up big plays. And Matt Ryan and this Falcon no-huddle offense seems to be wearing down the Packers.
Hey, Sunday! Let it go!
2nd and 4. Julio again. Broken up. Good defensive play from Devon House.
I'm shocked that they're giving Julio Jones any one-on-one coverage. That time Devon House shows his range. Not 3rd down is short. Here's Jaquiz Rogers, who's checked back into the game, and Clay Matthews will go find his cousin at crunch time.
By the way, to answer your question, Flipper Anderson, 336.
Watch out, Flipper.
Megatron had a 329 game last year against Dallas. Ryan, is that a fumble or an incomplete pass? Ruled incomplete. On the field, it's 4th down, down 16. 9.5 to go. The offense looks like it'll stay out there.
Uncommon that the Falcons would stay in this no-huddle. Let's see if it was indeed an incomplete pass, but it's uncommon to see a team stay in this no-huddle offense on 4th down. Just shows you the inventory of plays that they can access.
Running it from the sideline. Here on 4th and 4, the ball was misspotted. Because it was an incomplete pass, it didn't go back to the recovery spot. It goes to the original line of scrimmage. Now all set for 4th and 4. Pressure coming. Ryan over the middle. Julio Jones again to the 28-yard line.
This is bad pass defense by Green Bay. The blitz is on, and there's a confusion in the secondary. No one covers Julio Jones. They double the man in the flat and leave Julio Jones wide open. Shocking.
Steven Jackson with the run. Well, Julio's got 250 here, John.
He's tired. He's got to come out of the game. He's looking for help. Here comes Eric Weems. Going to need to get Julio an IV. Weems, who scored earlier in the game, has been more of a blocking type receiver. Let's see if Roddy White can step up his game at the top of the screen.
Coming off an ankle injury, he only has 1 catch tonight. Everything's covered. Ryan's got a lot of room to run. Matt Ryan, first down, and out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Just for what it's worth, the 2-game record for receiving yards is 458. Julio Jones is within 19 of that right now.
Well, Matt Ryan has made a lot of plays with his legs, and let's hope Julio can return to action as soon as possible. Falcons love these tight splits.
Julio's within 59 of that record, John. 498 is the record for 2 games. My math mistake. He awaits on the sideline. 1st and 10 at the 16. Again, a touchdown 2-point conversion makes it a 1-score game. Pressure on, and the rookie Freeman reacted to the blitz pickup quick and able to make it a gain on that play.
It's called a hot receiver. They bring one more rusher than you have protectors. You must throw the ball to your quick receivers. Clay Matthews unblocked, and Freeman, number 24, has to get his eyes around, and Clay Matthews plants Matt Ryan. 2nd down and 6, and Julio's back at the bottom of the screen.
Devon House in coverage. See if he gets any help. He doesn't. Matt's going to go right to Julio Jones. Good job by House, the 4th-year man out of New Mexico State, shaken up on the play.
Great job by House, and you can see Julio is tired. This ball was underthrown, and if you're a young receiver, you have to break this interception up. That's a great job by Julio Jones playing defensive back. Do not ever let a defensive back go up uncontested for an interception. Nice work by Jones.
A timeout taken here with 7:20 left by the Packers as they were getting their personnel organized for 3rd and 6, obviously in 4-down territory.
You know, Mike, we used to see Tony Gonzalez in these situations. I mean, it was almost automatic, and now they don't even use the tight end at all in the red zone.
Levine Toilolo's the tight end who replaced the future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, and Atlanta's gone from targeting them so often in the red zone to the team that targets their tight end the least. And with the injury to White last week, Harry Douglas being out for a bit, that's been a little bit of their problem when they get down in the red area.
It's a good thing they have a healthy Julio Jones.
Oh my gosh, what a night. And the way he's playing is eye-opening these 2 games to put up 439 total yards. 4-down territory. It's 3rd and 6. They rush 3 and drop 8. Jones over the middle with a first down inside the 5. It's 1st and goal.
Put your best receiver in the slot and give him a two-way go. They ran this play in the first half. And once again, Julio wins inside. Slant route, physical finish. Great job competing.
Packers running bodies in and out. Ryan snaps it, gives it to Jackson, who spins and turns towards the 2. 6:45 on that turning 4th quarter clock.
Said it earlier, this no-huddle offense has worn Green Bay out. Tom Capers trying to get fresh bodies in the game. There goes Jones. Look for Steven Jackson once again.
The end of that last hit. They've gotten Jones on the side. For the timeout, Green Bay. Mike McCarthy running down to use a second timeout on this drive on the defensive side here. Meantime, the concern for Atlanta is Jones. Let's watch the hit over the middle. This is the dropping defensive lineman, Dayton Jones, that got him there.
I think Julio is worn out, but these are the situations that are confusing. Atlanta, they just don't have enough tight ends to run the ball in these short yardage goal line situations. They stay with the open sets, and it almost forces you in certain situations to throw the ball. You don't have enough blockers. Douglas, White, and Weems at the top of the screen against what looks like one-on-one coverage. Here they come.
2nd and goal. Ryan releases. White comes across the formation. And the Falcons will go for 2 to try to make this a 1-score game.
Roddy White across the formation. That's his 50th touchdown reception from Matt Ryan. On a simple crossing route, the Packers blow a coverage. That was easy. What a combination this has been over the years, and it sure would be nice if Roddy White got healthy again.
Falcons have made their 2-point conversion attempt this year. You can pick where you want it, which hash. We'll bring it over to the left hash mark for this conversion attempt. They'll try to do it on the ground, and Rodgers is stopped. So the lead stays at 10.
Boy, that's frustrating. No lead blocker, they're outnumbered, and the Packers have a 2-possession lead.
Story in the NFC, Green Bay with a win stays tied with Arizona at 10-3. Cardinals can still have that top spot. And you see everyone else, division leaders, including Atlanta, controlling its destiny no matter what happens here in this game tonight. They win out, they win the South. The Seahawks and Lions at the moment of those wild card spots. The Cowboys on the outside looking in. Niners now 2 games back. A couple of teams 6-7 still mathematically alive, and obviously the Saints and Panthers more of a life because of the proximity to the lead in the South. White has a heating pad on that side. Potential onside kick here with a 10-point game and 6:15 to go. It's a middle dribble kick that is recovered by Green Bay's Jared Boykin and taken to the 42-yard line. It was initially signaled Green Bay ball. There's a scrum ensuing, but that's not going to change who has it.
Heads up play by Boykin. Middle dribble, Matt Bosher plays the numbers game, and Boykin comes up with the football.
Packers ball when we come back. Tomorrow night this time we'll have basketball from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. The Jimmy V Classic. We'll have the Big Ten against the top 10. Illinois taking on number 7 Villanova, and Yogi Ferrell and IU taking on Rick Pitino's Louisville Cards. So Big Ten taking on top 10 teams Tuesday night, the Jimmy V Classic on ESPN. Packers take over the Falcons 41, leading by 10. And on the ground, Eddie Lacy with such a good start to this game with an 8-yard run on first down as Lacy is up to 75 rushing yards on the night.
This is a favorite formation for the Packers. They get these 2 tight ends and 2 receivers. They balance the formation, and Aaron Rodgers runs the ball away from the loaded box. Watch, he'll look for one of these safeties to come down, and he'll run the ball away from him. You see the safety down here. I expect Rodgers to run the ball to his left.
Here it goes on 2nd and 3, and Lacy this time gets stopped. Good penetration by the Falcons defense will force a 3rd down and 4. Paul Soliai, injured earlier in the game, got in there, and then the tackle made by Babineau for the Falcons.
Long-time Atlanta Falcon Babineau can play. Here come the pass rush specialists of the Falcons. And on 3rd down and 4, let's see if they can rush or call a blitz to get to Aaron Rodgers. They have been unable to get any kind of pressure at all.
Third and 4, they bring the pressure, and Rodgers throws, and the rookie receiver, Devontae Adams, didn't react to it. Let's see what they do here. Field goal attempt will be 53 yards on 4th down.
Young receivers not on the same page in this offense, where you might miss a hand signal, you might not get the hand signal. Sometimes you see that, and in a critical situation, it looks like Mike McCarthy's going to trust his long-range field goal kicker.
We saw an extra point blocked just a moment ago. Crosby here from 53. On the way, and good. On a 31-degree night, cold football, low trajectory, able to knock it through. Make this a 13-point game, thus the Falcons need 2 touchdowns. And not a touchdown and a field goal. ESPN's Monday Night Football here from Lambeau, brought to you tonight by Goodyear, chosen by experts for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. Nissan, innovation that excites. LiftMaster, no other garage door opener opens your world like a LiftMaster. And AT&T, mobilizing your world. Weather doesn't keep them away. Over 78,000 again. They had a record here last Sunday, 431 was the attendance. And the 308th sellout at Lambeau Field. John, a place where you came to work 1992 through 94. You were an assistant coach here for the Packers. And this truly is one of these special places in all of sports. Not just the stadium, but the city as well.
Great place, Mike. People ask me why I love football. Well, it lit the flame right here in Ashwaubenon.
Crosby with the kick. See if Hester can catch it. It's a tough grab. He does, 4 yards deep. Little crack there, and Hester gets to the sideline, and Crosby takes him down just past the 35-yard line. Just a little while ago when you were here, back 1992, 1994, here you were with 2 different gloves, by the way, as the signal man when Brett Favre was the quarterback.
Look, this is a hook. Okay, this is a hook. This is a fly stop. This is a hitch. All right, this is a Colorado route. And this is a quick out. You got it? What is this?
It's a hook.
What's this?
Hitch? No, it's not a hitch.
It's a fly stop.
Fly stop.
What's this?
I don't know.
What the heck's wrong with you?
I didn't know
You got to handle his signals,
Did
Mike.
Favre get them all?
Yeah, Favre got them all.
Oh, he did not.
We're professionals, though.
Favre didn't get them.
Can't
Come on.
play wide receiver in this offense.
Or any offense, for that matter. Ryan in all kinds of trouble, has to bench it. Throw it away. It's incomplete. Julio Jones is not on the field. Lisa?
Yeah, Mike, he is over here on the sideline, visibly upset because he is not able to go back into this game. Mike Smith came over to him, Terry Rubisky came over to him and was talking, trying to see how he feels. He keeps motioning to his left side. They've called it a hip injury, saying that he's questionable, but he's just in too much discomfort right now to get back into this game, Mike.
Doesn't have his helmet, always the sign that the athletic training staff's going to keep him out of the game. On a night when he, Lisa, set the single game record for receiving yards for the Falcons. Record was 210, Roddy White's. Julio 259. So Ryan has to aim for White, and here he goes. It's disturbing here for the Packers, the amount of passing yards these receivers are knocking off in this second half.
Well, they're putting these Falcon receivers in these tight splits, and they get their width and depth as they explode out of their stances, and Green Bay can't handle the speed.
55 left. Ryan throws to Jackson. Jackson able to use the umpire to create a little bit of a screen there and get to the 20-yard line. Jackson's coming out.
Looks down the field, get to your check down, and in a one-on-one tackling situation, Jones obstructed by the official. First down, Falcons.
Play stopped on the sideline, and Mike McCarthy and the Packers going to take their final timeout, all 3 on defense on these last 2 drives. So the Packers are out of timeouts, potentially significant if there's a play they need to challenge in the next 91 seconds. They will not be able to. Coverage from Spider Camp tonight here at Lambeau, brought to you by DirecTV.
Packers are tired, Mike. There's 5 trainers out there bringing the water, and Tom Capers has to be looking for some fresh pass rushers. They have been unable to get to Matt Ryan. Clay Matthews on some blitzes has hit Matt Ryan, but where's Julius Peppers? Mike Daniels, they closed out Tom Brady late in the 4th quarter last week. Let's see if they can close out the Falcons here.
Great second half for offense for the Falcons, as they put up 23 points. Ryan flush gets rid of it to the sideline. No gain on the catch by Toilolo, as Ryan got hit at the end by Mike Neal.
There's that inside pass rush. Mike Daniels has taken over as the premier inside rusher for this Packer defense. And on second down and long, do not forget the screens and the draws. They have a lot of screens in this pass offense, and they love to use Jaquiz Rogers, number 32, as the screening back.
Second and 11, they'll run here with Rodgers up the middle. Inside the 10, it's first and goal at the 7-yard line.
Play a lot of zone coverage in this predictable situation. Hand the ball to Jaquiz Rogers on a draw play. Nice work by Toilolo at tight end.
First down, looking for the end zone. It's incomplete with Harry Douglas, the intended receiver. Offensively for the Falcons, Gabe Karimi has been in on the offensive front. The guard, John Asamoah, has got a back injury, so Mike Smith down 2 offensive starters here in the last 3 minutes.
You can see Roddy White is still gimpy on that ankle. He missed last week's game against Arizona, has missed a lot of practice time. struggling to line up.
Falcons have scored all 4 offensive drives in this half. No delay of game flag, and the run up the middle for Jackson to the 2-yard line. Clinton Dix pointing out what we were looking at. It looked like the play clock had to run out, but the mechanic for the official is to see 0 on the play clock, then look at the ball, and that's how sometimes you can get a snap at 0-0 and no delay of game.
Oh, in these one-back situations, Matt Ryan spreads out his Falcon receivers, and he is in a check-with-me situation. If it's one-on-one, he's throwing it. If it's a soft box, he's handing the ball off. He's throwing it here. It's clearly one-on-one. Watch out for Harry Douglas.
Blitz, Clinton Dix picked up. Ryan, end zone, incomplete.
Devin Hester, who did not catch a pass last year for the Bears in his first year with the Falcons, has caught over 20 passes, but in these tight red zone situations, you'd love to see Julio Jones, and I'm surprised he didn't give Harry Douglas an opportunity.
4th, and gotta have it for Atlanta. Ryan, end zone, Douglas to the ground, and he holds on for the touchdown, and the Falcons stay alive in this game.
Douglas can play, and he's healthy. Had over 1,000 yards last year, and you knew it was going to be blitz coverage, man-to-man coverage. Give Douglas a chance, and he beats Hayward 4-6.
Wow. When you were going to grab that bratwurst at halftime, it was 31-7. I never thought that we'd be in a 1-score game. But the Falcons, great note handed to me by our awesome stat man, Marty Aronoff. They've done in this half what the Packers did. 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal in a half. Bryant adds the extra point, 43-37 with 2:11 and all 3 timeouts left.
Says a lot about Mike Smith.
Yeah, it does.
And the fight
right
in this Atlanta Falcon football. It's 31-7. You're on the road. You're a dome team. It's cold out. It's 43-37, and they're going to go for an onside kick here again.
3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. You don't have to go for an onside kick, but the way the Packers move the ball,
I think
it almost is a no-brainer. You almost have to.
I think you have to go for the onside kick. Green Bay has 450 yards of offense. Both teams preparing for the onside kick. Last time they used the middle dribble, it was easily recovered by the Packers.
It's so hard handling the ball in cold weather, and that's something San Francisco did better than Green Bay in playoff games here the last couple of years. So Mike McCarthy made an adjustment to the practice schedule. They go outside no matter how awful the day is, and they handle the ball for 5 or 6 more minutes than they would in practice. It's a period in the daily practice. And one of the things is onside kicks. And everybody, long snapper, punter, kicker, even a quarterback or so, they onside kick the ball, and everybody tries to get their hands on it in the cold weather. So we'll see if that benefits the Packers in their recovery attempt here.
I like this unit they have at the bottom of the screen. Davis, Jaquiz Rogers, 14 Weems is a ball hawk. I'd be surprised if they don't let it loose down at the bottom of the screen.
Trying to go to a deeper area of the field. Nelson is waiting there. Jordy's got it, and he takes a dive down at the 40-yard line.
I didn't like that kick at all. I had no chance.
We're hoping to use that voided area with all the players up at the line of scrimmage.
It's an easy-to-field squib kick, and you don't want to kick it near Jordy Nelson, do you?
He's about as good with his hands on the ball as anybody right now. So again, the 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts. As the Packers take over at their own 39. It'll be Starks running to the right. He'll gain 1.5 yards. The Falcons will choose not to take the timeout on this side of the 2-minute warning and let those extra 3 seconds go.
We still got a ball game here in Green Bay. Stan Verrett along with Neil Everett here at Lambeau Field. Coming up, the GMC postgame report with full highlights and analysis of Falcons-Packers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is all smiles the first half. Ray Lewis not that high on Aaron Rodgers smiling. Trent Dilfer, Steve Young, our quarterbacks will be here. So roll out the barrel, turn up the heat. The LA guys are at Lambeau.
And you both look cold. We'll see you all coming up on Sports Center. Good to have Neil and Stan with us. The guys love the top plays of the week in the NFL. And all the action from back in the studio to wrap up this day in sports. Still a full complement of timeouts for Atlanta. They let those extra seconds go on the other side of the 2-minute warning. We'll see if this clock management decision pays off. 2nd and 8, and Rodgers will look to throw, but it's a design run, and it's a first down for Rodgers. Will slide at the 46-yard line.
What awareness by Aaron Rodgers. Falcons show 11 up. They disguise at the last second. No contain, and Aaron Rodgers has an uncontested first down. Wow.
The game's not over yet with the 2 timeouts that Atlanta has. They could potentially get it back with about 45 seconds, but that would mean stopping the Packers here from getting another first down. 4th rush by Rodgers for 32 yards.
And the Falcons are going to blitz. Paul Worrell, though, is going to run through some gaps, try to cause a fumble. And Green Bay has countered it with John Kuhn and their 2-back set offense.
Kuhn Blunt starts running for a first down and a lot more to the 6-yard line.
Had a lot of success running left tonight. I think this is his 6th team to have over 470 yards in a game against this Falcon defense, Mike.
5:07 with that 42-yard run by Starks.
Nice kick out block by Josh Sitton. And Starks shows his expertise and understanding of the situation by staying in bounds. Game over.
It forced the Falcons to use that 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining. And if the clock is managed properly, Green Bay should just be able to take it down to the very end. So incredibly unlikely Atlanta can get the ball back.
Impressive offensive performance by the Packers. But their defense took a step back today. They did not play well at all in the 2nd half, and they're lucky to dodge a bullet tonight. Matt Ryan and this Falcon team came storming back. They just don't have enough firepower on defense, Mike.
Coming into this possession here after the onside kick, Green Bay only had 4 first downs in this half after 22 first downs in the first half. But they've run for back-to-back first downs these last 2 plays and about ready to close it out. They've seen 50 a couple of times on the scoreboard this year. Starks wisely goes down to stay in bounds, forcing Mike Smith to use that final timeout with 1:31 remaining. So Atlanta out of timeouts. Can't give Rodgers the win just yet, but if he does, it means his record in his first 100 starts is exactly the same as Brett Favre's record. And when you look at all the numbers there, Favre winning the 3 MVPs stick out. Look at the interception number, because when Rodgers was here and watching Favre and that greatly exciting style of Favre to throw it all over the lot, Rodgers saw that it drove the coaches nuts, and he was very conscious of taking care of the ball. And he told Mike and Mike on the radio this week of all those stats and all the stuff. The thing he's proudest of is that touchdown to interception ratio. 100 starts and 54 picks thrown.
He never turned the ball over much at Cal, nor did he at junior college. That's just part of his upbringing. But Favre gave us a lot of high fives, too.
Oh, you know,
we had a lot of fun with him now.
Fans sensing Kuhn will get a carry. Block for Starks. Down to the 10-yard line. Falcons can do nothing with the clock here now. So this snap should come right around 48 seconds. The play usually takes about 5 seconds, so the Packers will run it down to the very end.
This NFC South remains a mystery. The Carolina Panthers right back in it. You might win the division and get a top 10 pick. How's that for a season?
It's very possible. And you know what else is possible, John?
What?
A 6-10 team could host a playoff game. It's not going to be a team with a winning record. Short of that, if this one stays this way, starts. There'll be about a 1 second difference between the game and the play clock. And Vince Lombardi, who was the legend here in Green Bay with the seal there and the seal there and all the wins, 98 of them if you include the regular season and the playoff time. That total of 98, second all-time in Green Bay history to Curly Lambeau and Mike McCarthy, is going to equal that here tonight. The clocks are synced up, so this game will end here.
Same amount of wins as Vince Lombardi. What a coach Mike McCarthy is, and Packers are 10-3. They'll take it.
Well, hang on. Pete Morelli may say there's 1 second left.
The game clock should have 1 second. Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So they'll just come back and take a snap and just drift back and take a knee to end the game. And Mike McCarthy will equal Vince Lombardi with 98 wins, regular and postseason combined.
He's going to win a lot more games with his quarterback and this group of players. And how about these fans? None of them left. They never do.
And that does it. The Green Bay Packers to 10-3, tied with Arizona for the best record in the NFC, and 1 game ahead of the Lions with 3 to go. The Falcons still lead the division at 5-8, and a team with a non-winning record will win the NFC South and host a playoff game in 2014. All of it put into context and perspective on the GMC postgame coming up on SportsCenter next. With John Gruden, Lisa Salters, our entire Monday night team. Mike Tirico, so long from Lambeau, where the Packers win 43-37.